love people when I daddy, when I mean, we love everybody. Oh, my little pretty one, my pretty one, when you gonna give me? Yeah, baby, she's got it.
What if I told you the biggest songs of the 1970s weren't just chart toppers? They became the soundtrack of an entire generation.
Oh, ho, ho, it's magic. You know.
These were the records that filled car radios, dance floors, and living rooms, creating memories that millions of people still carry today. Some spent weeks at number one, while others became even more beloved long after they left the charts.
And little Sammy John, he said, here comes the big boss.
But one song rose above them all, and even today, music fans still debate whether it truly deserved the top spot.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Stay with us as we count down the top 10 biggest hit songs of the 1970s, because our number one pick might not be the one you're expecting.
Leaning on my pillow in the morning.
10. Magic. Pilot. Some songs don't need booming guitars or powerful vocals to leave a lasting impression. Magic by Pilot proves that sometimes the simplest melody is the one that stays with you for decades.
Ho, 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 it's magic, you know.
Released in 1974, the song arrived with an effortless optimism that immediately stood out from the heavier rock sound dominating the charts. Scottish band Pilot wasn't trying to reinvent music. They simply wanted to write the perfect pop song.
Never believe it's not so.
Behind that bright, carefree sound, however, was the careful production of Alan Parsons, whose attention to detail helped turn a straightforward tune into something unforgettable. The gamble paid off. Magic climbed into the top 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reached number 1 in Canada, becoming Pilot's signature hit around the world.
Ho, 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 it's magic, you know.
Here's a fun fact. Many listeners assume the song was written for a movie or TV show because of its cinematic feel, but it was created as an original studio recording with no soundtrack in mind.
Day in bed, music in my head, crazy music.
Decades later, it's still heard in films, commercials, and nostalgic playlists. And while this next song has a much heavier sound, it earned its place in rock history for an entirely different reason.
So right, take it easy.
9. Slow Ride. Foghat. Some songs don't grab your attention all at once. They pull you in little by little. That's exactly what Slow Ride does.
Take it easy.
From its opening guitar groove, the song creates a feeling that's impossible to rush, inviting listeners to settle into the rhythm instead of chasing the chorus. Foghat built its reputation on long, energetic live performances rather than radio singles, and Slow Ride perfectly captured that raw stage energy. Released in 1975, it became the band's biggest success, reaching the top 20 on the Billboard Hot 100 and eventually growing into one of classic rock's most recognizable anthems. Here's something many fans don't know. The original album version runs for more than 8 minutes, filled with extended guitar jams that showcase the band's live chemistry. The shorter radio edit introduced millions to the song, but concert audiences knew there was much more beneath the surface. Today, Slow Ride remains a favorite on classic rock stations, proving that great riffs never go out of style. And speaking of songs that instantly lift your mood, the next one offered listeners something completely different, a message of hope that still resonates today.
Before we continue, may I ask one small favor? More than 90% of people who enjoy these videos never subscribe. If this channel has ever brought back a favorite memory or helped you rediscover a great song, please take 1 second to subscribe. Every video is created with hours of research, writing, and editing because these timeless classics deserve to be remembered. It's completely free, and your support helps us keep these unforgettable songs alive. Thank you. Now, let's get back to the music.
I can see all obstacles in my way.
8. I Can See Clearly Now, Johnny Nash. Every once in a while, a song comes along that feels like a fresh start.
Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind.
I Can See Clearly Now is one of those rare records. Released in 1972, Johnny Nash combined the warmth of Caribbean rhythms with an uplifting pop melody to create a song that instantly connected with audiences around the world.
It's gonna be a bright sunshine.
Nash had spent years exploring reggae music in Jamaica, becoming one of the first American artists to bring that sound into mainstream pop. The result was extraordinary. I Can See Clearly Now climbed to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, staying there for 4 consecutive weeks, while becoming one of the most optimistic hits of the decade.
All of the bad feelings have disappeared.
Here's a fun fact many people don't know. Although many believe Nash wrote the song after recovering from eye surgery, there's never been definitive proof. Instead, he often described it as a broader metaphor about overcoming life's obstacles and finally seeing brighter days ahead.
I think I can make it now. The pain is gone.
That universal message is exactly why the song continues to inspire new generations. But if you think this story is remarkable, the next song on our countdown became a worldwide phenomenon almost by accident.
Those kids were fast as lightning.
7. Kung Fu Fighting, Carl Douglas. Some songs become hits because everything goes according to plan. Kung Fu Fighting became a hit because almost nothing did. When Carl Douglas walked into the studio, the real focus was another song called I Want to Give You My Everything. That was the single everyone believed in. But with a little studio time left, Douglas suggested recording one more track, inspired by the Kung Fu movie craze that had swept across the world in the early 1970s. No one expected much from it. It was simply meant to fill the B-side. Instead, the song exploded, reaching #1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and the UK singles chart, turning Carl Douglas into an international star almost overnight. Here's a fun fact many people don't know. The entire song was recorded in just a few takes, and those unforgettable "hoo, ha" vocal punches were added almost as a joke during the session. Ironically, that spontaneous energy became the song's signature. Douglas later tried to recreate the success with Dance the Kung Fu, but audiences only wanted the original. Sometimes one perfect moment is impossible to repeat. And speaking of unforgettable songs born from unexpected inspiration, the next track has a story that's just as surprising. 6. Dancing in the Moonlight, King Harvest. Some songs sound so joyful that it's hard to imagine they came from a painful place. Dancing in the Moonlight is one of them. Released by King Harvest in 1972, the song paints a picture of people laughing, dancing, and enjoying a perfect night together. But its origin couldn't have been more different. Songwriter Sherman Kelly wrote it after surviving a violent assault while visiting the Caribbean. During his recovery, he imagined a world where people could gather without fear, where kindness replaced violence and music brought everyone together. That dream became Dancing in the Moonlight. The song eventually reached the top 20 on the Billboard Hot 100, growing into one of the decade's most beloved feel-good classics. Here's a fun fact. Despite its upbeat sound, many listeners never realize they're hearing a song inspired by one man's determination to find hope after tragedy. Decades later, it still captures that same feeling every time it plays. And speaking of songs that instantly transport you somewhere warmer, Our next pick became one of the biggest summer anthems ever recorded.
We do as we please when the weather's fine. We go fishing or go sailing in the sea.
5. In the Summertime, Mungo Jerry. Few songs capture the feeling of summer quite like In the Summertime. From the very first notes, it feels like sunshine, open roads, and carefree afternoons.
No return of 25. When the sun goes
Released in 1970, Mungo Jerry created a song so simple and infectious that it became one of the best-selling singles in music history, selling more than 30 million copies worldwide.
down, you can make it good and live by.
It also reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, while topping charts across Europe and many other countries. Here's something most people never notice. There isn't a traditional drum kit driving the rhythm. Instead, much of the percussion comes from Ray Dorset tapping his foot on the studio floor,
In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up and
giving the song its unmistakable laid-back groove. That homemade sound became part of its charm and helped make it instantly recognizable. More than 50 years later, In the Summertime still returns every year as the soundtrack to warm weather.
we're always happy. Last we live in, yeah, this.
But our next song proved that unforgettable hooks don't always come from sunny afternoons. Sometimes they come from a voice powerful enough to conquer the world.
The summer of beauty and love. I'm Venus.
4. Venus, Shocking Blue. Some songs only need a few seconds before everyone knows exactly what's coming next. Venus is one of those rare records.
I'm your Venus. I'm your fire and your desire.
Released by Dutch rock band Shocking Blue, the song broke through internationally in 1970 and achieved something almost unheard of at the time. It reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making the band one of the few European acts to conquer America during that era.
She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it.
Built around an unforgettable guitar riff and Mariska Veris's commanding vocals, Venus quickly became a worldwide phenomenon. Here's a fun fact many fans don't know.
Like a dark night she was. Got what no one else has.
Songwriter Robbie Van Leeuwen based the melody partly on the American folk tune The Banjo Song, blending familiar influences with psychedelic rock to create something completely fresh.
She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it.
The song became so timeless that Bananarama later took it back to number 1 in the 1980s with their own version. But while Venus was driven by powerful vocals, our next song was inspired by a single shout from the audience that changed everything.
To start to feeling so low.
3. Play That Funky Music, Wild Cherry. Sometimes the biggest hit of a career begins with a challenge. During a concert in Pittsburgh, someone in the crowd shouted, "Play some funky music, white boy!" Instead of ignoring the comment, Wild Cherry frontman Rob Parisi turned it into a song. That spontaneous moment became Play That Funky Music, released in 1976.
Never had no problems, yeah. Burning.
The track blended rock guitars with irresistible funk grooves and quickly climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the defining songs of the disco era. Here's a fun fact.
On the one night stands. And everything around.
Many people assume Wild Cherry started as a funk band, but they were actually a hard rock group before completely changing direction. Ironically, their greatest success came from stepping outside their comfort zone.
And just when it hit me, somebody turned around.
Even today, the song remains a staple at parties, sporting events, and classic playlists. But our runner-up didn't need a shouted lyric to make history. It only needed one unforgettable opening groove.
Hit it from the main line. All right.
2. Come and Get Your Love, Redbone. Some songs never really disappear. They simply wait for a new generation to discover them.
Say to find it, love and love it.
Come and Get Your Love was already a major hit when Redbone released it in 1974, reaching the top 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 with its irresistible blend of rock, funk, and Native American influences.
Baby, hey, oh yeah.
Formed by brothers Pat and Lolly Vegas, Redbone stood apart from almost every other band of the era, creating a sound that refused to fit neatly into one category. Here's a fun fact many younger fans may not realize. The song experienced an enormous revival after opening Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014, introducing it to millions who had never heard it before. More than 50 years after its release, it's still instantly recognizable from the very first beat. But even this timeless classic couldn't take the top spot, because our #1 song became one of the most unforgettable one-hit wonders in rock history. 1. My Sharona, the Knack. Some songs define a year, others define an entire generation. My Sharona did both. Released in 1979, the Knack exploded onto the music scene with a guitar riff so unforgettable that it remains one of the most recognizable openings in rock history. The song spent 6 consecutive weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, became one of the best-selling singles of the year, and helped close out the decade with incredible momentum. Here's a fun fact many people don't know. The song was inspired by a real teenager named Sharona Alperin, whom lead singer Doug Fieger met shortly before writing the lyrics. She later became part of rock history simply by inspiring one of its biggest hits. Although the Knack never matched that extraordinary success, My Sharona has never stopped finding new audiences through movies, television, commercials, and classic rock radio. More than 4 decades later, its energy feels just as fresh, proving that sometimes one unforgettable song is all it takes to leave a permanent mark on music history. Those were our top 10 biggest hit songs of the 1970s, a decade that gave us unforgettable melodies, legendary voices, and records that still bring people together generations later. Whether these songs remind you of your first road trip, a favorite dance floor, or simply a moment in time you'll never forget, their impact is just as powerful today as it was back then. Now we'd love to hear from you. Which song would you have placed at #1? And is there a classic you think deserved a spot on this countdown? Share your picks in the comments below. We always enjoy reading your memories and seeing how your list compares to ours. If you enjoyed this trip back through the greatest hits of the 70s, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more classic music countdowns and untold stories, and we'll see you next time with another unforgettable journey through music history.